Conference play has begun officially. Looking around the league, there were some interesting scores around the league as well. So I mean, that's what makes this league beautiful and horrible at the same time is that there's just no easy games. We needed to play better, no question about it. I thought that we lacked a bit of intensity for probably 60 to 70% of the game, but I think we all know that. That's not a big secret. I think we for whatever reason, and that's probably my responsibility to make sure we're ready to play a little bit better than that. But for whatever reason, I thought we didn't play with the type of focus and intensity that a veteran group needs to play with. I thought, credit to Buffalo. I thought they played really hard. I thought they executed a game plan and really gave themselves a great opportunity to win the game. Was pleased with how we played in the fourth quarter. I thought our focus was much better in the fourth quarter. Offensively, we did a better job of being intentional. We scored our most points in any quarter in the fourth quarter, 20 points. And then, last play, these two did a great job of executing what we drew up. Clare had the guts to throw the ball to Lindsey. Lindsey made a great catch. Clare with the backdoor cut, and Lindsey finds her, and these two connected on a game winner, which they'll have a nice memory of that. They'll be sharing that with each other, 15 years down the road at some point. But once again, we have to play better. We'll work on that tomorrow as we get ready to go on the road for 2 games, and it's not going to get any easier.
Questions for Lindsey or Clare?
Both of you, but start with Clare. Take us through the last play. Where you had the ball on the sideline, you looking for Lindsey all the way. Just take it through.
Yeah, I mean, to start, we shouldn't have been in that position anyways. Me giving up open layup on the other end. So we got to fix that. But, like Coach said, he drew up an awesome play, and we didn't have any other timeouts, so we had to get it in, and Lindsey made an awesome catch and an awesome pass. So it really starts with that.
Did you see her all the way? What's going through your mind when you're looking for somebody in a position like that?
I trust her, and so I'm looking to her. I know she's gonna fight for it. I know she's gonna meet the catch, bail me out, because she's done it a million times before. And so I'm just going to her because I trust her.
Mm-hmm. You get the ball back 3 feet, 2 feet from the basket. Goes through your mind?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have much time left to do much of anything else, so I kind of had to just throw it up. And
did you know it was good?
Once it
She
went
did.
through. Once it went through, I did.
She knew
She
it
sure
was
did.
good.
She sure did.
Lindsey, where were you? You were in the middle of the post on the opposite side, or so you see the ball coming. Just take us through from your point of view.
Yep, it's just got to execute the play, and even though time and score, it's really close, and basically one play is on the line. But we've executed it 100 times in practice, so it was no different than that.
Is that a play that you run in practice often?
Yep. Mhm.
Claire, when was the last time you scored a game winner?
I don't know, honestly. It's a good question. I'm not sure.
High school.
Probably.
She's hit some,
Tonight.
about 30 minutes ago. That was the last time.
Yeah.
She's hit some big shots late in games. Whether they were actually like a buzzer beater, like that one was pretty much a kind of a buzzer beater. But she's hit some shots under a minute left in the game that have helped us win the game. Whether you call it an actual game winner or not. But it's like Lindsey's shot the other night was a game winner. It just wasn't a buzzer beater.
On defense, they seem to be able to drive more easily than you would have liked. What were they doing? What happened?
They were just getting downhill. We really weren't helping each other out. We were kind of leaving each other on an island, guarding people one-on-one. We knew that they were going to do that coming into the game, but obviously we just have to take what they did to us and learn from it and prepare for the next games coming up. So
You were guarding those those drivers, Kelly, to some extent. Everybody does with your defense, but what were you seeing them do?
Yeah, I mean, same thing Lindsey said. I think that we just need to take it with a grain of salt and learn from it in practice and prepare for Ohio and try and get rid of those drives and get more stops this upcoming game.
Jacob, do you have right now?
Oh yeah, just one. Like in the fourth quarter, it seemed like they were having success driving, and then it seemed like you guys switched to more of a zone defense. Was that something that GC talked about in the fourth quarter, changing up, or is that just something that happened that you noticed that we need to fix because they're having success driving? Either one of you.
Well, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if it's broke, you better do something about it. So we switched our defense. Like, we really were struggling. I mean, and those two, their guards are good. Stone was the D2 National Player of the Year last year, and won a national championship. And Winfield was an All-American. So just because their D2 is in front of their name, that means nothing. Can they play or not? Those two can play. And so they were giving us trouble. There were some things that we could have done better, but we decided to switch to zone. We played a little bit more connected. They didn't score quite as quickly or as frequently, and so we were able to kind of close the gap. I think we had about 4 straight possessions where we got stops and we came down and scored. We were able to close the gap at that point because we were down 6, and we kind of finally tied it up and played back and forth. But I thought the zone helped us do that. It just threw their rhythm off a little bit. That wasn't because we were great in it, but it threw their rhythm off and helped us really kind of get a little bit momentum back. Yeah.
Anything else for Lindsey or for Claire before we let them go?
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Good job.
We're getting Coach.
Way to make the play.
Questions, Coach?
Tell us about the last play as far as drawing up. Is that I guess how many last second plays do you have in your repertoire?
I'm a firm believer in not drawing up something that they've never seen before, because you're not in panic mode, but everything is rushed, right? So it's important to try and put them in some sort of action or setup that we've done in practice and we've seen. That's one of the plays that we run in practice. It's a play for a last second shot. So when we called that play and we drew it up, it's familiar to them, and so you just have to have the guts to execute it. I was proud of Claire for making the pass because Lindsey was guarded fairly well, but she made a good pass to her high and away. Proud of Lindsey for going up and getting it. I mean, she went up in traffic and got that, and then she had the wherewithal to remember what to do under pressure. Claire makes the pass. Her job is to cut, because a lot of times the inbounder who's guarding the inbounder, they don't pay attention to their man because they're out of bounds. Claire cuts back door out of that. Lindsey finds her, great pass. Claire, tough floater finish. But you have to make the play. I can put them in a play. They're the ones that have to execute it, and they did a great job of it.
I guess talk about, again, them being able to get in the paint so easily, scored a lot of points in the paint. Is that just their good guards or what?
Yeah, to be honest with you, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. We have to get better at that, and we will. We'll figure that piece of it out. Credit to them; they did a good job of attacking us on it. But we've got to be better at. That's a team that should not be able to put 44 points in the paint up against us. That's 2/3 of their points in the paint.
You did real well on second chance points, which hasn't been a strength this season.
Well, we got Hannah back. That helped us out. I thought Bridget had some really nice offensive rebound putbacks. She had 2 offensive. The one was a really tough finish. She's like, I don't know how I made that shot, but she put herself in position to get that. So Bridget's been really doing a good job rebounding the basketball this year, much better. But those 2 offensive rebound putbacks were big for us. Katie had some really nice offensive rebounds. Hannah had some nice offensive rebounds. So we've got to. We have not, like you said, that has not been a strength of ours. It needs to become not necessarily a focus or strength, but it needs to not remain a weakness, right? So I'm pleased to see that, the second chance points, fast break points 3, that's got to get changed. Points in the paint that they had, that's got to get fixed. But once again, I think Buffalo, from the games that I watched them play early in the year, with a new coach and virtually a whole new roster to now, I think they've improved significantly, and I think that they're going to give some teams some problems in the league.
Hannah's 2 3-points in the second half, I don't know if they were both in the fourth quarter, seemed really big because she wasn't quite in the game in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, she's been out sick, and she's only been back in for 3+ days, and she was pretty winded and that type of thing. She played hard, but the guts she had in the second quarter, take those shots. I mean, they were both fourth quarter, because I think we were in zone defensively. They were, early to middle of the fourth quarter, and that helped us make that run to come back. Because, like I said, we were down 50-44, called a timeout, got into them a little bit. I wasn't even the coach that was yelling the most. So, but we also in that timeout switched up some defense, and then we did some different things offensively a little bit, but we finally got some. If they're counting the only fast break points were Hannah's 3 on the wing, I think we got more than that. But at the same time, maybe we didn't, Jay. I don't know. Maybe we didn't get more than that. So even if we got one more basket, it's still not acceptable. So we've got to get better in the transition game offensively. We've got to get better and more rigid defensively. And then, we've got to find a way to score some easier baskets. It can't be so tough every single time. We've got too many talented offensive players.
Anything else?
Yeah, like you mentioned talented offensive players, but what's it like when you're gonna have your forwards come out and shoot threes like that? How does that add to that offensive style you guys have?
It's great when they're hitting them. I mean, really. I mean, it's tough to defend. It's great when they're hitting them. When they're not hitting them, then a lot of times it leads to fast break points for the team, long rebounds. And it also, we're kind of like, hit or miss at that point, because our offensive rebound hadn't been so good. So there's trade-offs in everything. When they're hitting those shots, it feels really good. But we also have to figure out a way for us to get some better paint touches and be more deliberate. And then we've got to get our guards downhill a little bit better. I'd like to see our guards, off of ball screen action, take better shots. They played underneath us and didn't let us get to the basket much. But we've got to be able to take pull-up jump shots and exploit mismatches a little bit better.
Katie didn't score a lot of points, but she had a really good line. 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals.
Yeah, I mean that's and she'll start coming around and finishing the ball and knocking down shots. I'm just pleased with the fact that she's playing hard. She's really kind of looks like her freshman self again. Energy-wise, she's a lot smarter player at this point. But at the same time, not a lot smarter. I mean, she's just developed as a player. But I'm pleased with the fact that even though she's not seeing her shot go in, she's still doing the things that are intangibles to winning, and that's she's not turning the ball over as much. She's rebounding the basketball, and she's finding people as well.
15 assists is pretty close to a season high against Division I anyway. Is that something that you're working on?
Yeah, I mean, sharing the basketball has got to be something that we do. I thought it was nice that we had 15 assists, but we can't have 18 turnovers. We had 10 in the first half. Probably 8 of those. Going back to look at film, we'll look at them. But I thought 8 of them were preventable and a bit careless. You can't, and what that did was that gave them some easy baskets. They got some points off of turnovers. Now they're starting to play with energy because they're in the game. So there's some things that we can do early in the game to prevent people from, feeling. I mean, we had some opportunities early to push that game out, and we had consecutive turnovers that led to easy baskets for them, and it gave them life. and they fed off of that.
Any last question?
Yeah, just one last one for me. The play right before the inbound pass, you had to take a timeout. Is that, when you call that timeout, is that something where you draw up a whole new inbounds play, or was it something you just adjusted slightly, or?
It was a whole new play.
Whole new play?
We didn't get what we wanted out of it. It was a play. It was a play to actually go to Lindsey there, and they fronted her and had the backside covered. We told Claire, we have a timeout to burn if we don't have what we want. Let's go ahead and call it. Boom, we called the timeout. Got into a different setup, different formation. Saw that the inbounder, was playing off and really kind of turned her head to look at the action and stuff like that. And so we felt like maybe going backdoor off of the inbounds pass was where we could go. So.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep, you got it.